Hi friends, welcome to yet another video about learning coding in C# using .NET Framework. Today we'll be going through conditions. So to get the concept of condition, we need to be introduced with Booleans. Booleans are nothing but a variable type which can only store either true or false. So they only have a conditions of either being true or false. For example, for a quick example, it'll be x is greater than y. Can be either true or can be either false. So that's basically Boolean. So for Boolean, we need to introduce a new type of variable called bool. Let's assign a variable to it, Boolean. So condition equals to true. So to use the condition, we use, to make the decision based on our condition, we use a statement called if or an else. So it's a if and else statement. So what it checks for is it checks the condition and makes a decision based on that condition. So you can make one decision using one condition. So let's make a decision saying that if condition is true, let's print it's true. So this what basically does is it checks, the if statement checks for a condition, and based on that condition it executes a certain type of statement. So if it checks for the value to be true, so if the condition, the variable value is true, then it executes that condition, executes the statement. If it's not true, then it just bypasses the decision that we took and then moves to another statement. So if we run this, so you can see that the if statement took the condition, and based on that value, for us it was true, so it executed the statement. I just added a read just to make sure that the screen stays or waits for something, because if not, then the value just disappears because it executes really fast. So with this if statement, it only executes for one type of decision making. So we know that conditions are either true or false. So we can compare the other condition by using else statement. So one thing with if and else statement is with conditions there are only either true or false values. So if an else statement acts in the same way, so it checks for one condition, and then if one condition doesn't go for true or false, then it executes the other one. So we use else to execute the other situation or false value of the other condition. So for else, since we know that conditions or Boolean can be only either true or false, so we don't have to express anything on the else as of now. We can say same thing, console dot write it's false. We'll just add a console.read so that it stays open, and we'll just change the condition to be false just to see what happens. Let's execute the statement. So here you see it executed the else statement. So one thing to remember is you can only execute either true or false. So you can only execute either an if statement or an else statement. The other thing that you can do with an if or else statement is if there are third conditions. If you have many conditions to fulfill, then you can use else if. Which is part of But this would take another video to explain, because then we are going into operators, else, or operators and operators and other things. So we'll skip this one for now. The last thing that I want to know is you can have if conditions inside an if. So if you want to check for another condition inside that condition, then you can apply if. So it can be nested ifs. You can have another if inside an if. It follows the same principle that you are checking for either true or false statement, and inside that true you might check for another true or false statement, but the flow will be the same. So it'll be checking for either true or false and taking decision based on that. So hopefully you guys liked it. That's all for today. Please like and subscribe and do comment. Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye. Have a good one, guys.